Brand new coffee and donut products from Tim Hortons. Spring has officially sprung. Welcome back to That's Rank, your home for food news and reviews. My name's Chris, and strap yourselves in, kids, because we have a whole lot of Tim Hortons content coming at you over the next week or two. From ice cream to shelf-stable ice caps to these things here that are making up their limited time menu items. And it's that latter piece that we are getting into today. But before we dive too deeply into this, first I want to issue a huge thank you to the new subscribers who stumbled over here after Slapnuts' Gaming did a really bizarre tribute to this channel by drinking an entire bottle of Starbucks creamer in a single sitting. Just watch.
The Star Yucks tastes like belly button juice mixed with ass sweat. Now, if you go look at his videos, when he's sampling these things, you actually see his cup. And you see his cup is like this, and you can see there's no coffee in there. So, we're going to tribute him by reviewing this
Oh my god. It's so gross, it's going all over the shirt and the table.
I'm still not sure what that was all about, although he's a man of an advanced age, so maybe he's got an upcoming colonoscopy and he needed to clean himself out ahead of time. Thank you, Slapnuts, for the shout out. I think, and I'll be over here praying for you in your impending heart attack. Now, Timmy's hasn't been running with any seasonal menu since their Christmas one rolled out that we covered here back in the month of November. And trust me, I've been watching their website, waiting and wondering, but we haven't seen a whole lot of turnover in the fast food industry here in Canada over the past few months, like at all. And what gives with that? Seriously, New Year's resolutions went out the window like 90 days ago. Y'all are okay to start trialing all kinds of calorie-rich foods again. However, Timmy's has rolled out a few limited-time food items here, and while none of it is set to a specific theme, with one very cool exception that we'll get to at the end, everything here is new. So we're going to dive right in and find out which of these, if any, are worth your time. And those items today are their new roasted hazelnut latte, a freshly brewed iced tea quencher, a strawberry swirl donut, and just in time for Easter, they have an Easter Nest Dream Donut with Hershey Eggies nestled on the donut hole. Now, in order to score these today, I'm going to keep things basic and score everything on a scale that runs from 0 to 10. I know, we're used to a scale of 100, or maybe basing things based on my personal emotions like we did with the Asian Lay's chips. But this is Tim Hortons we're talking about. They're the fast food equivalent to a 4th grade dropout, and I'm not sure that they can count to 100.
Go nuts.
Okay, for today's taste test, we're gonna kick things off with the hot beverage, because Lord knows there's few things worse in life than letting your hazelnuts cool down after getting them all nice and hot. I see it's gonna be one of those days, Tim Hortons. See, here's the thing about Tim Hortons. Simplicity is where they shine. When you add fancy words like hazelnut or latte into the mix, you're asking for trouble. Tim Hortons doesn't know what the hell a hazelnut or, frankly, what a latte is. It's just words that they read on a Starbucks menu and thought, hey, maybe we should offer one of those. Right now, Tim's is in that really weird place that McDonald's was in like 20 years ago when that Super Size Me documentary rolled out, and everybody was like, oh my god, did you know that McDonald's makes you fat, y'all? And did you see what it did to that one guy who ate it every day for a month? I hear he's dead now. Well, no, Morgan Spurlock is not in fact dead, although McDonald's did try to kill their own business model by reducing portion sizes and calories for quite some time until they woke up like 5 years later and were like, you know, well, hang on, y'all. We're McDonald's, we know who we are. And then they eventually leaned into it the way they should have been all along. Tim's right now is trying to keep up with Starbucks, and frankly, they can't. Tim Hortons trying to be fancy is like if I went on tour with Metallica. I guess what I'm getting at is that this is just a really generous way of saying that I'm giving this a 3, and it's a very generous 3 at that.
Go nuts.
All right, up next we've got this lovely looking iced tea quencher, which you can get either sweetened or unsweetened. I'm not a big fan of unsweetened iced tea, so to give this a fighting chance, I got this sweetened. The press release for this, and yes, iced tea needed its own press release. Anyway, it says that it is a perfect blend of green tea with delicious accents of tropical fruit such as pineapple and passion fruit, plus a hint of black currant. And I'm left wondering, seriously, Tim Hortons has access to their own black currants? These guys don't even have access to their own original coffee beans. Friggin' McDonald's swooped in and stole that years ago. I don't think these guys have their priorities in check. I will say that the color of this is actually really pleasing. It looks like a lemon lime Gatorade. While I don't know that your tea is supposed to be crunchy, I will say I'm actually impressed by this. First of all, it doesn't taste a thing like lemon lime Gatorade, which for me is a good thing in a tea. But what it is actually a really good balanced iced tea. The pineapple and passion fruit are subtle and it pairs really nicely with whatever that green tea is that they're using here. This would be an outstanding drink if you were sitting out on a patio when the weather warms up just a little bit more. I really dig this. Well done, Timmies. Y'all are back in my good books. It's not the best iced tea that I've ever had, but it's the best iced tea I've ever had from Tim Hortons. And I'm gonna give this all the way up to an 8. And that's even without having to grade it on a bell curve, something that these guys are completely used to.
Go nuts.
All right, moving on to the donuts now, and we've got ourselves a strawberry swirl, which is a recent addition to their donut lineup. And why did they go ahead and release this? I don't know. Strawberry season isn't until June. Tim Hortons is a Canadian company, so they absolutely know this, and yet here we are with a strawberry donut that was released in March for reasons. They're also playing with fire with this one because they released an absolutely killer strawberry shortcake dream donut about a year ago. And compared to that beauty, this looks a little bit like a nightmare. That's gross. I have no idea what prompted Tim Hortons to make this or how it even got past the taste testers, but here we are. They have a couple of strawberry donuts that are regular staples in the US, so maybe this is a US import. I don't know, but this has no business being a thing. Here's the biggest problem. The strawberry flavor on this donut is about as authentic as that person's interest in you that you're paying to follow on OnlyFans. This is awful. It's phony. It doesn't taste a thing like a real strawberry. That's what made the Dream Donut stand out so much last year. They used real strawberry flavoring in the donut itself. This right here is hot garbage. It might even be worse than the old-fashioned plain, and y'all know how I feel about the old-fashioned plain. You know, you've got your options of sour cream, double chocolate, honey dip, and for God's sakes, get any of those, get anything on the menu, just don't get this. This gets a 0, and I'd even consider giving it negative numbers, but I'm still not sure that Tim Hortons has learned that in school yet. That's more like a grade 5 level of learning.
Go nuts.
You know, I probably should have finished with that strawberry donut because the flavor is lingering and I don't like it. Anyway, hopefully their latest Dream Donut can save the day. What the hell happened here? These poor eggs all fell out of the nest. Let's put this back together. There you go. Back where you belong. You remember at the top when I talked about keeping it simple? See, this is more inside the Tim Hortons wheelhouse. This is the equivalent to a burger place slapping a piece of bacon on top of a sandwich and calling it innovation. They've literally taken a classic vanilla dip donut, they just changed the color of the sprinkles to use these nice light pastel colors, and they added a handful of Hershey Eggies on top of this. You know, personally, I'd have worked with Cadbury to get my hands on their mini eggs, but you know what? Hershey Eggies are great too, and let's see how this does. Gonna blow your mind. This tastes like a vanilla dip donut with Hershey Eggies on top. Let's be honest for a sec. You could have just as easily ordered a vanilla dip donut at Tim Hortons and made one of these yourselves with just a handful of little Eggies on top of this. But you know what? You've had a hard week. Why not let Tim Hortons do the cooking for you tonight? As a donut, this is fine. Kids are definitely gonna love it. It's bright, it's colorful. Sensory overload is totally a thing happening right now, but it's what Tim Hortons should be. You're not stopping in for a hazelnut latte, you're stopping in for a coffee, maybe a bagel, and a treat for the kids. This fits the bill just fine as a treat for the kids. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7 because it's not the greatest thing that they've ever rolled out with, but I want to promote positive affirmation when they do good things. Also, even though I've never covered it on the channel, the chili's actually pretty good at Tim Hortons. Unless you're one of those people who thinks that beans doesn't belong in chili, in which case I say, get over yourselves, Texas. Even Cincinnati uses beans, and for God's sakes, they think chili is like 80% cheese and cinnamon. Okay, so to quickly recap what we learned here today, the iced tea quencher is really good, this dream donut is reasonable, the hazelnut latte would be better served in its original form, which is used as a medieval torture device, and the strawberry swirl thing can go back to Satan's breakfast table where it belongs. So tell me guys, have you tried any of these new items? Did you even like the strawberry swirl donut? If you did, comment below and tell me where it all went wrong with you. Maybe we can therapeutically work through that together. In the meantime, of course, thank you as always for liking and subscribing to the channel, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Ciao for now.